And it says we are live. It's Wednesday night, not Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. It's time for GotBot Goes live. This, of course, is a different night than usual because tomorrow night, around this time at best, I'm going to be driving on the highway, coming home from work. Tomorrow is a long day for me. Today was a long day for me, but tomorrow is also going to be a long day for me. I don't know who's going to come here, when they're going to come here, but we're going to do the show tonight. Like I said, we were going to do last week and get through it. Now, I just got to set up a couple of things here. And I got to make sure that I got this set up. I know what's going to happen. Tomorrow's going to come and people are going to be like, "GotBot, where's the show?" And I'm not even going to reply because I'm going to be driving, and I got to be safe. Hey, Master Fire, been a while, buddy, since I've seen you here. You've been a busy dude. Just got out of work. Listen, buddy, I hear that. Gotta pay the bills somehow, right? Gotta pay the bills. Gotta keep the lights on, man. Hope you had a good day at work. That's the best thing I could say to you. Okay, so I'm going to not waste any time because I still got a lot to do this evening as well. You and Firebike finally got your store up on Shapeways. Yeah, I knew that. For anybody who sees this, by all means, throw the name in there, Master Fire, so I can tell them what to search when they go to Shapeways. Hey, Eyes. But yeah, Firebite and Master Fire, they have a store up on Shapeways. So far, I know that they have, what will I call it? I guess the like wing daggers that go with Maximal Sky Warp, and you got like 3 or 4 things in there right now. Master Fire actually did a video on it. I can't remember what the other ones are off the top of my head. Tell me what they are, Master Fire, and I'll give the shout out here properly to it. But they're clever. They're clever designs. It is it too late to say hello? Or no, man, you can crash the party anytime you want. Hey, Rob. As people are coming in here, I'm going to get going on the news because there's a nice bit to cover, and I do want to get through it in a timely fashion tonight. I got to eat. I haven't even had supper yet. And around here, as of right now, it's 7:30. So by the time I get out of here and get everything done, it's going to be 8:30-ish. 9 o'clock-ish, and like I gotta eat, right? So it is what it is. This is a day early as per usual. Next week we will be back on our normal Thursday night slot, but I literally tomorrow can't be in 2 places at once. If I'm driving home from work, then I'm driving home from work, and that's just the way it is. So yes, a day early rather than miss it. Hey Marcus, hey Jay, goodbye TFCon. About time, man. Let's get into the news right away. First things first, here in Canada, Soundwave from the B movie is out apparently at Walmart's. I haven't seen it. I'm not really in for that Soundwave. I think it's neat. I think it's cool. But for the prices that a Voyager is going for here, I don't have a need for a Soundwave. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to look at it. But it depends on a lot of circumstances. So we'll see. I think it's a fine Soundwave. I think it looks beautiful in robot mode for sure. I've seen the Ravage. I've seen the Shockwave. I don't have a need for either, but they look great. If you're into the B movie stuff, like honestly, they both look tremendous. The Soundwave looks tremendous. Also out in Canada is Iguanus. Apparently, I don't have him, but I know that Toy Snowman has him, or had him. I don't know if it's still up. So neat, I guess, if you want an Iguanus. I do, but I think I can wait till it comes out at retail. I don't think I need to pay shipping for Iguanus. Just saying. I think I'll be okay waiting till it comes out to retail. I think that will be good enough for me. It's called Everform Productions. There you go. Master Fire just said it. So if you go to Shapeways, search Everform Productions, and some pretty simplistic, but at the same time clever kits, which is exactly honestly what we sort of need. Because sometimes, man, you see some of the designs, and while it's neat, it is way overdone and way more complicated than it needs to be. So yeah, hold on. Everform Productions, Shapeways, check them out. It only has robot mode. I found Bulkhead, almost passed on him. He's actually really good. I must say that I don't mind you, Jay. You love everything, man. You called all good. Hey, Crumple Zone. It's been a while since I see. I'm not surprised though, Jay. If anybody was going to find him, I'm not. It's funny. I saw like in a chat or something. Somebody said he's at like Targets in New York, and I was like, Jay is definitely going to get him. 100% Jay is going to get him. Hey, Brian. Hey, Maximal 10. I'm glad you're happy. The more I see that bulkhead, the more I'm like, this looks awful. I don't like anything about it. I don't like anything at all about it. Let's go on down here. Transart showed off their Optimal Optimus done in the G1 Optimus Prime colors. We've seen this before with Optimal Optimus in these colors. I don't know if he has, like a different name. I don't know if that's like the Primal Prime or whatever it is. Standing at 9.5 inches. 9.5 inches is fairly big. Transart, honestly, I like the Transart stuff. Like I have the Ravage, and I think he's pretty great. And Maximal 10 gave me the Transart like small Optimus Primal based on the original Optimus Primal. It's okay. It felt a little thinner. I find the Ravage feels a lot better. But they've done a number of Beast Force things. I feel like this is pretty cool. No, I don't have their Ravage. Or do I? I'm not sure. Is she getting sick?
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Maybe?
She's trying not to.
I hope she doesn't. If she does, I mean, just change it out. Change out the towel or blanket, and I'll have to do it after, I guess. Just something else that's on the list of stuff to do. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Sorry about that. Tessa's over there making dog noises. Not great dog noises, but dog noises. Let's go on down. Planet X showed off their Victory Leo. That goes with Ismerios. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It is their Star Saber. It looks good. I've heard mixed reviews about the Planet X Star Saber. I don't think Masterfire liked it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember for sure. Masterfire, maybe you could clarify that. But they are doing Victory Leo to connect to him. It looks pretty great. It's a grayscale at this point, but it looks pretty great. Fairly impressive, not going to lie. Ocular Max all showed off their Armada female Megatron. Looks pretty good. She looks very sinister, looks very Megatron-y, but a more slender frame. Very interesting take on Armada Megatron, but I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. I think it looks good. I'm surprised how much I dig it. Also with Planet X, I forgot to mention this one, the G2 Grimlock. It is basically the IDW Grimlock that they did in blue, right? To be G2 colors. I'll say this though, I've heard that there are breakage issues with that version of Grimlock. So if you want a blue Grimlock and you want him to look like the IDW Grimlock and you're okay with being careful, then be careful. Speaking of breakage issues, man, oh man. Earlier, just before we went on the air, I put up my review of the NBK King of the Sniper Prime, the limited green version that everybody seems to have. And while there's a lot I like about it, man, there's some stuff there that unnerved me. I did not feel good transforming those shoulders. I didn't break anything, but man, I did not feel good transforming those shoulders. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. I think you got to be very, very, very specific with what you're doing there. What else do we have here? X Transbots showed up their metallic Elegos, which is their version of Cyclonus. I mean, Elegos was. Is anybody here going to disagree that that's pretty much a perfect MP Cyclonus? Him in metallic, I guess, is great if you like metallic paint. I do. I think it looks beautiful. So good on him, I guess. I'll go back to that news in a moment. What else? YOLO Park showed off a video of their Playmo Optimus Prime. This is a very intricate model kit, highly detailed, highly painted, highly articulated, highly everything. It's impressive. It doesn't transform. That's the only kind of problem with it in terms of how good it looks. We also saw images of the buzzworthy Silver Streak, which is the like blue streak prowl smoke screen mold from Earthrise repainted with the blue colors that all the thieves called selects. And that's how that rumor got started, because the scumbags that get this stuff that are thieves or buy from thieves get it. They don't even know what line it's going to be in. They don't know what it is. So they automatically say, Generation Select. Like, it seems like this will be a little like it's buzzworthy. We know that now. We know that it's buzzworthy. So it is what it is. What else do we have here? We saw some images of Sludge. Like it. Now the transformation looks insane. Just from one of the images I saw where he's kind of like opened up. But honestly, Slug/Slag was insane too. His transformation was bonkers. I don't know what the Sludge is like, but I know that I love the robot mode. I love the dinosaur mode. The tail might be a little bit short, a little stumpy on the tail, but I love the look of the head. I love the articulation on the head. I think that's a really, really nice feature. Big backpack, but I mean, that's Sludge's claim to fame, right? His whole head is on his back. It's always been his claim to fame. I guess it'll always be his claim to fame. So, like, it is what it is. It's too bad, I guess, that it couldn't be tucked away more, but like, it's so accurate, man, that even down to the backpack, that was in the animation at least sometimes, right? I'm cool with it. Some people have said that since there's not a little like Spike or Daniel or whatever, not Wheelie or Daniel or whatever being included, maybe they could have included his googly eyes for the dino mode when Devastator hits him. That would have been a neat accessory to include. I could have got behind that. I really, really could have got behind that. And I think that's it for that there. Let's talk about TFCon. Now, before I get there and my reactions to a lot of stuff about TFCon, let me go back and check the chat just for a moment. Starscream wife and Tessa are gone downstairs. I hope she's okay. I mean, I'm sure she'll be okay, but you know the way dogs are. As we go up here, where did I stop? About there. Hey, Dragonfly. You guys saying the hidey hoes to each other. Hey, Shansi. Me, Grimlock Blue. Yup. I'm very excited for the Planet X Victory Leo. That gray prototype looks good. It looks very good, Ron. It's very. I don't have. Here's the thing. If I had their Star Saber, I would definitely be in for the Victory Leo. I mean, it is what it is. I don't. But seeing them together in the robot mode and the alt mode, man, it's hard to argue with how good it looks. It'll be interesting to see this when it has all of its colors, right? That'll be very interesting. The great prototype looks good. I do hope he comes with parts for the for Star Saber knees since they're a little weak. I wouldn't hold my breath, but maybe. You never know. I mean, I'm not a designer. What do I know, right? I saw the review on TV and not my calling to. Oh yeah, the King of the Sniper thing. Yeah, it's not for me either. But to each their own, I guess. Hey, Lee. Week is going super busy. Like, let me kind of fill you in. Yesterday was insanely busy, and when I came home, I was insanely busy when I came home till about 10 o'clock, and then I gave up. The NBK review was supposed to be up yesterday, but for some reason it took like forever to process. And I was like, I need to go to bed because I have a job and I got to go to work tomorrow. So I got up, I went to work today. Today was breakneck. I had duty. Whenever there was like recess or lunch, I had duty all day. I never had a what we call a prep period, like no gym or music where I get to kind of prepare other things. And then I was also at the same time trying to get a lot of stuff ready for tomorrow because tomorrow I'm going to go to work and then it's going to be parent visitation. And when we have the show here, I'm actually going to be driving on the highway. So I'm not going to be here yet tomorrow, right? Or if I am here, I'm literally just getting in the door now. So that's why we're doing it tonight, right? So, let's see. I'm glad that you're happy to remember today's show, man. That jumped down. Kills me when it jumps down like that. I totally lose my spot then. I need Buzzworthy's silver streak so bad. If you need a blue silver streak, then I mean, go for it. I don't need it, but I mean, if you do, cool, man, go for it. It looks good. I'll give it that. I like the blue on it. Hooray for exclusives, annoyed. Yeah, well, they're not. Unfortunately, they're not going to go away. My favorite bits of news so far today, probably the tech specs. I'm kind of smitten with the tech specs, but we'll get to them in a bit. Hey, Paul. Hey, Manitoba. General Kenobi, okay. Kildeo, I heard the creators of the Epic 3D Party Galvatron, of that Epic 3D Party Galvatron is back, and it's making a Dark of the Moon Megatron. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm glad you're happy, Caldeo. I'm right now watching me on TV. Oh, I should not be on TV unless it's like a little black and white 13-inch TV or something. You're a bold one. I don't know who he's talking to. Hope parent-teacher night goes well. Yeah, it'll go fine. I got good kids. How is that the other people are able to get Transformers that have not been? Well, it's called buying from thieves or stealing from a factory. That's how you do it. I'm not willing to pay $500 for a deluxe from a thief to get it early, and I'm not a thief myself, so it's pretty simple. That Prime truck from the Beast Wars leak looks promising. We're going to talk about that. Hey, Glenn. I'm from Texas. Hope things are good down your way, man. All right, let's get into TFCon and my reactions to that. So first things first, Ocular Max showed off an exclusive, which is basically hubcap, right? It is their version of, I want to say his name was Toro or Taurus or something started with a T. And it was Cliff Jumper. And it looked pretty good. It was like an MP Cliff Jumper. And I thought it was pretty, honestly, I think it looks better than the official MP Cliff Jumper images we've seen. And they basically gave it a yellow head with an orange face, and boom, you got hubcap. It is what it is. I think it's a nice use of the mold. It's a logical use of the mold. It makes sense, and it looks good. The yellow really kind of pops. I kind of dig it. We also saw from Banana Force their Power Master Optimus Prime. It's really though Godkin ride. Let's be realistic here. Really gorgeous. At first, I just saw like what looked like the art for it, and I was like, "Yeah, the art looks good, but what about the plastic?" And then, boom, the next image was the plastic from the slideshow, and I'm like, "Oh man, that's really gorgeous. It looks really special." Now, again, let's be clear: Banana Force does not transform. It is a robot, but it looks really, really good. If you're okay with your Power Master Optimus Prime not transforming, Banana Force might be the way to go because it's really, really, really impressive looking. We also saw HTV show off their His Tank version of Soundwave. What you want to do, man? What you want to do? I put the link in my community tab a while ago. What you want to do is you want to get yourself the His Tank Megatron. That's the official collaboratives. And then you want to get yourself the HTV His Tank Soundwave. And then you want to get some GI Joes. And you got 2 His Tanks and you got a bunch of Joes. Dig it. Dig it. Speaking of HTB, and I've talked about them before, they have little tiny, they're called, it looks like nanobots, and it's their little tiny Megatron and Optimus and Reflector and Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee. They're articulated. They're like 4 millimeters, or not millimeters, 4 centimeters tall. Like they're tiny. They're articulated. The faces don't seem to be painted. But like Bumblebee has yellow forearms and a yellow body and a yellow head and yellow feet, black legs, black arms and shoulders. You know, Cliff Jumper has a similar sort of thing. Reflector is gray and purple. If you're really good with a toothpick, you might be able to do a bit of paint on the face. But honestly, I see these little tiny guys. I'm like, that's the size you need to go with Titans. That's the size you need to go with your Unicron. There's a market for those, and I think they're infinitely better than like the little tiny Optimus Prime and the little tiny globby Galvatron, the little tiny globby Hot Rod that Hasbro gave us. I think HTB is giving something that the market is there for, articulated, usable. I like it. I really like it. I might be in for it. We'll see. They also showed off their MP scale Vamp, which in essence is Hound. It's basically Hound as a G.I. Joe Vamp. Looks good. Impressed. Honestly, everything from HTB kind of blew me away. Now, I'm not much for crossovers, but I think they all look good and function well. I do like those little nanobots. I was really, really impressed with that. So far, for what we've seen from Ocular Max, for what we've seen from Banana Force, and from what we've seen from HTV, though we've talked about it before, it was nice to see some more images in the slides. All winners. Honestly, I feel like all of that is winners. But we're not done by a long shot when it comes to what was shown off there. Next, we get into Icon, Icon Productions or whatever it was. They have a sewer system. It's basically for Ninja Turtles. I find it very interesting that's done by a company called Icon, but okay, whatever. They have a lot of parts for Ninja Turtles. I think it might go with I want to say the NECA ones, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure what ones they're going with. Looks good. If you want to have, their TV that has the 3 legs of books under the other one and their coffee table and their sofa and stuff, this is the way to go. Honestly, this is the way to go. Speaking of Ninja Turtles, and I saw this week the retro turtles. So far I've seen Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. Haven't seen Leonardo yet, but I'm like, man, when 10-year-old me, man, I can remember when I was 10, they were super hot, and the only one that you could ever find locally here was Krang with that weird little thing that he had. And it was a long time, man, while I was trying to get all 4 turtles and like Bebop and Rocksteady and Shredder and stuff. The hardest ones I found to get were Shredder and Bebop. I found them the hardest to get as a kid. So it was nice being able to go into like a Walmart and see like a Michelangelo and see Raphael. Amazing that when I was a lad, when I was 10, I'm almost 44. When I was 10, I was able to get those for $9.99. That's what they were, $9.99. Amazing that now they're $14.99. Now, of course, that's Canadian. So in 35 years, they've gone up in price, what, $5? I don't understand why all the G1 Transformers reissues, like that Optimus Prime that was just the cab, was $70. A ripoff. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry for that. So sorry. A ripoff. I'm so sorry for that. I apologize. I'm just saying, if one company doesn't need to go that high, I'm a bit skeptical about the other one needing to go that high. Just saying. As we go on down, looks really good. Their sewer thing looks really good. Iron Factory showed up a whole bunch of stuff that we've already talked about at length here on the channel. They showed off their G2 Sandstorm, and they showed off their Sea Spray. They showed off their Drift. They showed off their Animated Lockdown. They showed off their I didn't write everything down. They showed off their Silver Streak. They showed off their Brawn and so on and so forth. Everything from Iron Factory looks great. It all looks great. It's all Legends class. It's all beautiful. Nothing really that I haven't seen before. I think the weakest one there might be the movie Drift, only because I find his pants and lower legs look weird. It's not for me. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just aesthetically, his lower body is not the style that I like, even though it is very samurai-like. I will admit that. It is it very much goes with the samurai theme. So I'll give credit where credit is due. It's just not for me. Then we also saw, as I go down here from Iron Factory, their Lio Kaiser and Outback, which I think their Lio Kaiser looks tremendous. But then they showed off these Seekers, and it was Skywarp, Thundercracker, and Starscream as like anime girls. I don't get the appeal of this, and I don't know. It's not for me, and I don't like seeing it. It's not. I don't feel clean seeing it. Like, do the designers and stuff realize, like, I'm gonna blow your mind? There's real women out there. There's real girls out there in the world. Maybe go and meet some of them. Just a suggestion. Just throwing it out there. Just saying. To each their own. If you like it, cool. It's just I've never been a fan of that personally. Then speaking of Seekers from Don Models, we saw Red Hornet, Azure Flash, and Night Thunder. Man, they look like Bumblebee movie Seekers. I don't know if these things transform. We just saw robot modes. I think they're model kits, so probably not. But boy, oh boy, seeing all three of those main seekers in that Bumblebee movie aesthetic looks really good. Looks like three faces come with at least Starscream. I think they're impressive. I've never heard of this company, never saw this project before, so it was a new reveal to me. I was impressed with it for what it was. Fans Hobby showed off their Firebreaker, Arson, and their Energon Optimus Prime. We've seen all this before. Looks good. Looks great. The Energon Optimus Prime is the one that's really kind of impressing me. I'm not even a Unicron Trilogy guy, and I'm certainly not an Energon guy, but I really like what they're doing there. It's not perfect from Fans Hobby, but like if you're a Unicron Trilogy fan, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think Fans Hobby is your way to go, man. I really think Fans Hobby is your way to go. And besides for that, we also had stuff from Fans Toys. They showed off their blaster and cassettes. I mean, it's MP blaster and cassettes. Looks beautiful. Magnus. Their Magnus, again, looks fine. Then we go down to Moon Studios. Oh, boy. We saw finally all of Raiden. How clean. All way around clean. Too big for my collection. Wouldn't scale or match my combiners, but so very well done. What a pat on the back they deserve. What a tip of the hat they deserve. Then we saw all of the trains. They all look good together. We saw them in a row in a line. Man, looks so good. Then we saw the robot modes. If you're into the Moon Studios, if you can afford them, if you're cool with that, if that scale style is for you, man, do it. And the reward of the look of the Raiden mode is gorgeous. I don't know how they all function, but from everything that I've heard, it seems pretty successful. It seems like Moon Studio got something special on their hand. I guess we'll see as time goes on when we finally see the combined form. Then from Gang Toys or Kang Toys or Chung Toys, whatever you want to call them, we saw the feet for Predaking in robot mode and as feet. We saw the Predaking all combined. Little concerned that he was holding his sword out in front of him, because I'm thinking, can dude stand up without that sword? Or is that sword necessary as a stabilizer? I'd like to see it without him holding the sword to see how stable it is. I would very much like to see that. I don't know what the combined mode will be like. Very stylized, very cool. When all of the wing tips of Dive Bomb are together, I kind of like the wing silhouette, but other images we've seen had the wing tips all splayed out. I don't think that looks good. I think for me, I can accept a stylized look for Predaking as long as the wings are fairly accurate to what they should be, because I think the wings over shoulders, as well as the head on the chest, I think those two things are probably the most iconic. I think you got to nail the head sculpt too. If you do the head sculpt, the wings, and the chest, I think people would forgive stylization on the rest. But that's just me. I think it looks good. A lot of it was grayscale. We need to see more in color before we can make really final determinations. What else do we have here that was shown off? He's very spiky, by the way, if I didn't mention that. MMC also showed off their Promeon Vexo, which is their alternate version of really their Batman Transformer, right? This one is the gray and blue one. Looks gorgeous. I didn't get the original. I didn't get this one. It feels like too much of a crossover for me, and that's not my thing. But if it's yours, I totally get it. If you're a Batman fan, I think you owe it to yourself to get it. If you're a Batman and Transformers fan, I'm not going to lie, you should have both. You should have both. For what it's worth. They also showed Grifter. They showed a girl anime Megs. Again, what's with the girl anime stuff, man? Then we had Vectron Labs. Showed off their Constructicons and a teaser for Metatron, which is going to be Megatron. A lot of flat surfaces, but looks to be hyper cartoon accurate. And even when you see things like the arm out, like there's molded in detail, like under the arm, I don't know what the scale of this is. I'm assuming MP, but I really have no idea. I don't know if another Devastator is necessarily needed after what Toy World did, but maybe. I feel like this might be the most cartoon accurate Devastator I've ever seen. I need to see a lot more, but that's my feeling right now for what it's worth. X-Transbots showed off their scoop with his Target Masters. I think it looks really good. I think it's a nice reuse of Scrapper in a very unexpected, interesting way for MP collectors. I still have my Generation Scoop and his 2 Target Masters. While the Target Masters leave something to be desired, honestly, to this day, I find that scoop fun. I was happy to see this, and I was happy to see the bright orange and the bright yellow. It made me happy. I'm not an MP guy, but that made me happy seeing it, which to me is a success. If I can look at it, it makes me happy, then I call that a success. I hope it functions as well as it looks. I certainly think the Target Masters probably will. And we saw a G2 trailer. Cool, I guess. Then we also saw, I think that's it. I think that was it from TFCon. I would say, while there weren't a lot of new reveals, I think it was a strong panel. I think it was a strong showing. They had a ton of guests. I saw a lot of images, talked to a lot of people who were there. They all said that they had fun. It was a good time. Now, the people I know and stuff were like still masked up and whatnot. I don't know what the requirements were there or anything like that. I hope everybody was safe and had fun. Our buddy Joe was there and done a panel on the stop motion shorts, along with John Machida and the rest of the people that worked on those. We reviewed all of those here during the live show. I was happy with this TFCon. It was the buildup was just too much, but I think that what they showed and did was really kind of something special. I think it was really kind of something beautiful. So I liked it. I really did like it. Before I do the rest of the news, let's check in with what you guys are saying, because I'm sure I'm after missing a ton, because that's my life. That is my life. Geez, I did miss a ton. Let's see. I hope the G.I. Joe Megatron scales with his tank, Soundwave, and Hound. Yeah, I like. Hopefully, one would hope. I would hope. Hey, H&E Games. Got Studio Series Bumblebee movie, Ratchet, and Wheeljack. Love them. I'm glad you're happy with them. I didn't even know, Mike, that they were actually out yet. But now, to be fair, I'm not looking for them. And it's nothing against them. They look great. They look painted beautifully. They look pretty fantastic. It's just, again, I'm to a point where like I won't buy everything now at the prices that they're charging. So we'll see if I end up getting them and seeing them. I don't need a B, and I don't need a I don't need a Ratchet. I don't need another Ratchet. And as much as I love Wheeljack, I don't need that Wheeljack. I haven't seen them like at retail, maybe an impulse buy. I don't know, but I think they both look great. I think they both look phenomenal, to be honest with you. And everything I've heard about them seems to be fairly solid robots, fairly solid alt modes, fairly interesting transformations. So like I support it. Like I'm glad that Mike got him. I'm glad he's happy with them, because I think that they came up with designs that's kind of knocking it out of the ballpark. I have all the retro turtles. Finally got Krang, Slash, and another foot soldier to add to my collection. Thanks to BBTS and Danny Dolphin. I've only seen, I know that there's more, but I've only actually seen the turtles yet and the box set thing. But that's it. That's all that I saw so far. But I know that, of course, there's more out there and whatnot. It's nice. It's nice to see. It makes me feel good to see them. My sister's a TMNT fan, as he watched the original and the 2004 and early 2000s reboots. I liked her. I like the Turtles too. I have nothing against them. I love them. I thought Shredder was such a good villain. And man, oh man, I tell you what shocked me when I finally found out that the voice of the original Shredder was Uncle Phil. Like I did not know for a long time that James Avery was the voice of Uncle Phil of Shredder. And now when I hear Shredder, I can't unhear that. Like, to me now, it's like, yeah, that's Uncle Phil. It totally makes sense. I did not know it was him. I always said Bumblebee. What? I always said as BB looks like from Velocity. I don't have a clue what you're trying to say there, Blue. I always said SSBB. Sorry. Looks like from Velocitron. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what anything from Velocitron looks like, but yeah, sure. Why not? He looks sleek. He looks like a alien robot car, race car. Sure, why not? He would fit on Velocitron. Only Bumblebee or Buzzworthy figure I want is Blue Streak, Silver Streak. No, not even interested in that. Iron Factory Samurai Grimlock looks great. He does. The Iron Factory Samurai Grimlock does look great. Very interesting take on Grimlock. Secret Anime Girls is a bad idea. Well, I mean, to each their own. I guess there must be a market for it. I just don't get it. Iron Factory Animated Lockdown. Finally, some animated love. Yeah, and you know what? If he does well, I bet you he won't be the last animated you'll see. Real Women Head Explodes. Just saying, like, they're out there. They exist in the world. Yeah, I find sexualizing toys disturbing. Yeah, me too. Hey, Big M. People are going to hate and boo me, but I like Transformers Energon. No joke. I don't know why anybody would hate or boo you. I don't get it. I don't get why anybody likes anything about Unicron Trilogy. From the art, from the character designs, from the voice work, to the scripts, to the cumbersome story. I don't understand why anybody likes anything about Unicron Trilogy. But that being said, I don't think I was ever the target audience for that. I mean, when that came out, I mean, I was in my 20s. I was never going to be the target audience for that. And I guess I don't understand it because it's like Pokemon. I'll never understand Pokemon. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I don't know. I don't get the appeal of the games. I didn't like that Ash kid. But I wasn't the target when the card game first started in 95. I mean, I was 19. I was never going to be the target for that. Now, don't get me wrong. Even people my age have latched onto it, whether it's because they like Japanese culture and things that come from there, whether it's because they had kids themselves who were into it, or whatever the case may be, how you came to it. That's cool. It's just, I can sit back and say that I never had a tie to any of it because I don't think I was ever the one who was supposed to be the target audience for it. So you know what, Caldeo, all that said, if you love Energon, man, you love what you love. Don't let anybody tell you they shouldn't, even me. Even grumpy old man me. Always be true to yourself. If you love it, you enjoy it. So we go down here. Hey, Emergency Response Orchestra. What a sweet name. No booze. Energon had some outstanding toys. Silver Streak equals Blue Streak. Hey, Grimlock on. I love the Energon, Megatron, and Galvatron. See, there's lots of people here who like Energon, Keldeo. I even earlier myself, while I said I don't like anything but the fiction, some of the figures were great. And honestly, like I said, Fans Hobby's knocking it out of the park. I think the Energon Prime looks pretty great. As we go down here, maybe the Predaking sword is light, not like hollow kind of. Maybe it's light. I don't know. Maybe it is, Caldeo. You could be right. I have the first two Moon Studios trains, and they're terrific, right? So I would expect the rest of that set to be. And the combined mode looks so. I'm just going to say the combined mode obliterates the Takara one. At least at this point, it obliterates the look of the Takara one. I actually just got Energon Galvatron the other day. There you go. I feel like the Energon show, and I wish I had more Energon figures. I like the show, like the Headmaster bootleg English dub. Oof. That bootleg dub of Headmasters was rough. Victory was done well, though. The dub of Victory is pretty good. Let's see. Vectron Labs is MP scale. There you go. I thought it was MP scale. Oh, I forgot to mention the X-Transbot's Scrapper. Yeah, he looks awesome too, but I'm not going to lie. Seeing the X-Transbot Scrapper next to or following the Vectron Labs Constructicons, I felt like he was a step down. I really did. I was like, to me, the hyper animation accuracy of the Vectron Labs one really spoke to me. I'm not an MP guy, but man, do I think that looks good. I'd love to see more. I need to see the combined of both of them. Isn't that the way it always is with combiners, right? Just ordered an orange MPK Devastator from Amazon. I don't hate that thing. I thought that it was all right. I mean, it makes great Constructicons. Could be a little more stable in the leg region, but I don't hate it. Wish I could go TFCon someday. Yeah, me too, buddy. You and me both. I saw a friend of mine who went. They kind of reanimated the Transformers animated shorts. Let's see as we go down here. Ironhide and Kicker. Oh, Kicker. I detest Kicker so bad, man. You know who loves Kicker? Input. I don't get him. I don't get that. I love Input, but I don't get those. I don't get that lad sometimes. My Ratchet should be here soon. Is it Earth or CJ? Patriot Prime's Bumblebee Ratchet was loose. Glad mine wasn't. Missed when you were commenting, but the SS line for the B movie. I was going to skip. I did get Brawn, Ratchet, Wheeljack, and Ravage. I really like those guys. They're small, though, and possibly light. Maybe. I'm not getting any of them. I don't need them. Like, I got a Brawn. I got a Ravage. I got a Ratchet, and I got a Wheeljack. I don't need them. That's where I'm too, right? And while there was a time I would just pick anything up, I review it. I'll sell it after. You know, like... see a Wheeljack, and he's going to be somewhere between $36.99 and $42.99. I struggle with that. Sorry, I struggle with that. We're at my cutoff, man. Waiting for my bronze still to be ordered. Bowed out and got Buzzworthy Cliff Jumper and Cup. That's fair, man. Somebody said bless you when you sneezed. She doesn't hear you. I think she got headphones in. Finally got my Shattered Glass Starscream this week. I like that guy. There's Tessa again. I don't know if she got sick or not, but she's going around okay there now. I'm looking forward to the Red Prime Knockout. I know it's red, but it's also Knockout. Fair enough. Watch now you get one, and there's a paint blemish. Can you imagine getting a Knockout, and they got a paint blemish? That would be both sad, but hilarious at the same time. I never got the first cup, so I might get the new one. That's fair. Toy Hacks my Cliff Jumper, though. I done a ton of work on that Cliff Jumper. Crimson sent me a Cliff Jumper. I never bought it. Crimson sent it to me, and it needed a lot of work. Event Progenitor sent me Toy Hacks for it, but it still needed a lot of paint work, too. And, of course, the one we got coming out now is, yeah, that's what you should have did. That's what I basically did. Although my gray is more of a gunmetal gray. No, it's more of a graphite than the light gray that's on the Buzzworthy one. I have Boost and Hatch. They remain my Trans Am in Trans Am mode. Hey, Quilla. Kicker in pre-events to Energon had a rough life. He was left in space. He should have been left in space, and that's it. He should have just been left in space. I don't care what kind of life Kicker had. He is garbage. He should have been left in space. Some of X-Transbots, like, just because you had a tough life, that's not an excuse to be garbage. Just saying. Some of X-Transbots figures are fine. Some are bad. I don't know. Again, I'm not an MP guy. I just know that they look beautiful. But some of the transformations are good. Some of the transformations aren't. Okay, let's get back here. So we had a couple of, I'm going to say leaks, but they're ones that we kind of already know. When I say leaks for Legacy, they are ones that with numbers, like they're not rumors anymore. They're like, yeah, they're in systems. They're in Walmart systems because these leaks are specifically for the Velocitron line, apparently, which is going to apparently be a Walmart exclusive, namely Voyager Override. I know a lot of Unicron Trilogy people are very excited about that. I reviewed an Override. It was all right. I'm not blown away by it. I don't really know the character. I don't really remember the character, but like I might get it because I don't have an Override, so I might be in for that one. And Road Hauler. Now, I assume that that's going to be a green reuse of the, Inferno Artfire mold. That would be my guess. Great mold. Stellar mold. Why not? Road Hauler, I guess. Now, it might not even be that at all. It might be something totally 100% different. It's just, that's my guess. But we'll see. And we also had some, like, Beast Assortment. It was a number for Beast Assortment. For those who don't know, Beast Assortment is the Cheetor reuse as Night Prowler, if you want that. It is Buzzsaw, which is a reuse of the Waspinator, of course. And it is Sandstorm, which is a reuse of Scorponok. Might get the Buzzsaw. Not interested in the others. Again, Not because they're not good. It is 100% a price issue. 100%. We saw images of, or I saw images of some of the offerings from the Rise of the Beast line. Oh man. Oh man. Where to even begin? The Optimus, I assume, is tiny. He has a sword that comes out. The face looks like Bumblebee Optimus face. The truck mode is awful. There's no elbows. It's not good. Not good. Then we saw Optimus Primal. It was nice to see Optimus Primal in both modes. I feel like the face of the 8 mode is the stuff of nightmares. I saw it and I was like, that's terrifying. Then I saw the robot and I'm like, cool. Very monochromatic, very silver, not a lot of color breakup, but pretty cool robot mode. Yeah, seems very Optimus Primal-ish. I think I'm okay with it. I wish it had more color. And then this thing killed me. Cheetor, or not Cheetor, Tigatron is Target Master, Battle Master. Really? Really? Tigatron? That's how you're going to do Tigatron? And then when he's opened up to be his whatever he is, I don't even know what it is. It looks awful. Tigatron deserves better. Thank goodness we got the Kingdom Tigatron. Thank goodness we got the reissue, because that little Battle Master Tigatron thing is not good. And like the paint was on his face, but like not on his body at all. Not impressed with the Rise of the Beast line at this time. First offerings look pretty awful. Not gonna lie, look pretty awful. Then we get down to the last bit of news, which is good because I gotta get out of here and eat some food. But the last bit of news is the tech specs for Leagacy. You can scan the QR code. It takes you to the tech spec pages and stuff of the guys. Just a couple of little highlights that I've seen from Wave 1. I didn't go through. I'm not going to be exhaustive with this by any stretch of the imagination. The Bulkhead, as you would expect, has a strong fire blast and high strength. Pretty low intelligence. I think they might have made him a little too low. I mean, I feel like a 3 would be like Dinobot level intelligence, but maybe. Optimus Prime surprised me. He's fairly high, but like none of his scores were top scores. And particularly weak was his fire blast. I was kind of surprised that was like his weakest score. Blaster is definitely slow. He's a 2. He got to go by foot. And if he's not going by foot and turns into his blaster mode, his ghetto blaster mode, that thing doesn't move at all, so that makes sense. Galvatron, interesting. It's the same thing as the Kingdom one. Galvatron is definitely the strongest of Wave 1. He has a lot of top scores. He's very strong, very smart, and his scores are higher than Optimus Prime. Like in a fight, I think Galvatron would win over Laser Prime. Iguanus had a 4 for speed. That surprised me. Dude turns into a motorcycle, and all he got is a 4 for speed. That seemed a little off to me. What else do we have here? RC, she's extremely intelligent and extremely fast. I don't know why she's fast and Iguanus isn't. They're both motorcycles. Dragstrip is the most middle of the road. All of his are about the same. They're all like just north of halfway. So they're all 6s, maybe, I think it was. I'm not sure. Kickback is very smart, which I guess makes sense since he should be good at espionage. But he's kind of bad at everything else. He's weak, low fire blast. Sort of surprised me that he'd be that weak, but what do I know? I don't come up with the tech specs. And then we have Skids. Skids, shockingly to me, is no, it's not shocking that he's smart. I expect him to be smart, but his fire blast is also quite high. That sort of surprised me, since he's like all religious and peaceful and stuff. So there is the news. I'm going to give you guys the trivia. I'm going to check in there, and then we'll do the unboxing and get out of here. So the trivia tonight, interesting one. It's a quote. Finish the quote. Which word completes this quote? Die like the slime you are. That's A. Die like the bug you are. That's B. Die like the worm you are. That's C. Or die like the parasite you are. That's D. So die like the blank you are. Is it slime, bug, worm or parasite? Slime, bug, worm, or parasite? I'll check in with you guys, and then we'll do the unboxing and get out of here. Let's see what you guys have been saying here while I've been jabbering on. Let's go up here a little bit. Professor Jones' Worst Father Award. There's been more paint screw-ups lately. Of course, there's been more paint screw-ups lately because they don't care. They are looking to see how much advantage they could take of fans. Like, I don't understand why people don't seem to get this. Yeah, a lot of paint screw-ups. Yeah, a lot of QC. Prices are gone nuts. Now, some of those price increases have to be justified because the cost of business has gone up, but a lot of them were not justified before everything went sideways in 2020. Let's see. Splotches, yeah, pterosaur, red alert. Luckily, my pterosaur didn't have any splotches, though I have heard of some. I was very lucky with my pterosaur. That review will go up not tomorrow, Friday, and as you will see, I was very lucky with my pterosaur. My dad was using him like a bloodhound on the forced hunt. I disagree. The parenting skill. Only Velocitron character I want is Cosmos. Cosmos is not from Velocitron. It's great. I need to clamp down. I think a lot of people need to clamp down. I believe he's rumored. I think I mentioned that some time ago that a clamp down is coming. I'd be cool with a clamp down if it's using the Earthrise side swipe mold, say. Bike, blue, true, but they are showing him into the toy line simply to entice G1 collectors. I haven't heard of Cosmos in Legacy. Interesting. Or maybe I did, not forgotten. That's more than likely. They did Tigatron Dirty. They did do Tigatron Dirty. The Rise of the Beast ones look horrible. Yes, they do. Looks like someone tried to violate a cat. You're right. I'm with you there. It does. He's obviously a tiger-themed Cybertronian crossbow that shoots lasers. Oh, Shotzi, that's so good. That's exactly what he is too. That's so awful. That's terrible. That's terrible. But you're so right. Bulkhead's a space bridge genius. That's right. He shouldn't be a 3. I like that. Everybody to Bulkhead's defense. I love that. C, B, worm, hugs. C. None of the above except the correct answer. That's nice. It is, of course, yes. Die like the worm you are. See, Astrotrain says it to Jiro when he's like, I'm just going to blow up these Energon crystals and destroy your lame little village. Because if I can't have them, ain't nobody having them. And that, of course, was in the God Gambit. Hey, Ford. Just finished Transformers Animated. Ultra Magnus and Megatron are cool. They are. I agree. They are very cool. I love, honestly, animated Megatron is one of my absolute favorite iterations of Megatron. He is definitely the most threatening, and I've always loved that. Target's a bust. I would probably want the override. I have to look if she's a repaint of the 86 Blur. No, she's a Voyager. So she shouldn't be repainted the 86 Blur. She's a Voyager. If that's what they're going to do and try and pass that off as a Voyager like they did with that lame Hot Rod, and yes, I'm going to say lame, not because he's lame, but because he's lame as a Voyager, then I'm not in for that. If you're calling her a Voyager, you better give me a Voyager, especially if you're going to be charging me $50. Sorry, $55 plus tax for it. I'm not paying that for a deluxe. Okay. Let's do the unboxing and get out of here. This is about the right time to get out of here. And the unboxing this week came from Toy Snowman. A while ago, I ordered from him, and I was going to get Blaster, Pipes, and Slammer. Well, I ended up finding Pipes and Slammer locally, and I didn't need them anymore. And the Blaster was a second Blaster that another local collector has bought off me. I said, I'll keep that one because I ended up having Ultra Megatronus send me my Blaster. So I was like, well, I'm going to do the second one. I reached out to a fellow collector, and he is getting it off me. So I contacted, story here about customer service and stuff. Hey, so I contacted Toy Snowman because I was like, I don't know how to do a cancellation or a refund or anything, and I still want the blaster. So I just really want a refund for the pipes and the slammer because I don't need them anymore. And I was contacted, and it's a fairly small Canadian company, growing though, getting more popular, and said, look, we can do the refund for sure. However, since the order's already in, is there anything else that you'd like that we could like transfer out, like take out? We'll take off the slammer and the pipes and put something else in there. So I went to him with 3 options. All of them were as close in price as I could get, right? And basically, with a difference of like just a few cents, nothing big, he said that he would put this in instead. I said, well, what about the balance on it? He said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna wipe it off. It's just even trade out. I was like, you know what? I'm good with that. I wasn't gonna get these guys, but I'm good with that. I get it. You guys have smaller profit margins. You guys are smaller businesses, and keeping the order at the price that I was paying ensured I had free shipping. So I was like, you know what? Yep, we can trade it out. I'm cool with that. And I got something from Generation Selects. It is not 1, it is 2. I trade out 2. I got 2, and I'm okay with that. The two I got, you probably guessed this. I was never going to get them, but now I got them. And we'll end up next week doing the review of these. One, of course, is Cordon, and naturally the next is Spin Out. Speaking of paint blemishes, my Spin Out had a silver blemish over here. I've touched it up, but it's so weird. I touched it up, and the paint I touched it up with is just slightly lighter than the paint that's on this guy. I'm going to tell you now, I've had a challenge with this red in the past, taking you all the way back to the Generations Voyager War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, not Voyager, Deluxe War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron video game version of Starscream. Remember that video game version of Starscream? He had this red on him, and I was forever trying to match it. I wanted to match it because I wanted his pauldrons to be red. Never did quite match it dark enough. But I used the same paint here. I would take the little spot of red being a slight mismatch than the big blotch of silver that was there. Too bad. It's too bad. In fact, on the glass right here on him, there's still a little spot of silver. I don't know if I'll bother to take it off. I don't know if I care enough to take it off. So I wasn't going to get this guy, but I did. I kind of like this guy because I like the light bar. Not going to lie, like the light bar. So Cordon, Spin Out, you know what? There were a few cents more. The guy did right by me. It was a nice transaction. It was good business. And I got 2 bots that, you know what, I thought were going to escape me. They didn't, though. They didn't. Anyway, ladies, gentlemen, that's it. I thank you so very much for coming by tonight. I know it was not the usual night, so I especially thank you for giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you if you're in a position to help the channel grow. Of course, you can hit the donate link, the join button right here on YouTube. You can check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you on Teespring. Hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference, man. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here, usually on Thursday nights. We'll be on Thursday night again next week at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, inside the videos. Last week, for the record, when I said that, Starscream wife, she's the one who chimed in and signed us off. Have a great one, guys. I'll see you next week.